Here's the deal. Picking the best stovetop pressure cooker shouldn't feel like a gamble, so this countdown ranks 6 solid options, from good to truly great, with real-world pros, quirks, and the, yeah, that matters details that decide daily cooking happiness. Stick around, because there's a clear gap between the budget-friendly workhorses and the models that feel dialed in, safer, and easier to live with. And the top spot delivers control, speed, and capacity that can change weeknight meals, batch prep, and even canning days. 6. WantJoin Pressure Cooker Stainless Steel. Let's start with a stainless option that looks the part, feels hefty in the hand, and absolutely gets the job done on gas, electric, and yes, induction, thanks to its steel body and flat base that seats well on a burner without wobble, which makes browning and maintaining pressure easier. The pot's wall thickness helps with heat retention, so once pressure is up, it holds steady without constant fiddling, and the lid hardware locks in confidently with a reassuring click. Now, here's what matters if cooking a lot of beans, stews, or meats. The WantJoin builds pressure predictably and vents steam with a strong, audible release that doubles as a cue for timing. It ramps up fast and doesn't sputter or spit broth when the liquid level is right, so it's friendly for batch meal prep. On induction, the base distributes heat evenly enough that scorching is rare when using a proper preheat and a tablespoon of oil for searing. But, let's be real about the downsides. The pressure indicator isn't as readable at a glance as the nicer brands, and the release control can feel a little abrupt when doing quick releases, which nudges the learning curve up for delicate dishes like lentils or fish. You might notice the gasket needing slightly more frequent checks to keep a tight seal, particularly after high starch cooks. Cleaning is straightforward, stainless always helps, but the lid hub and valve area have a couple of tighter crevices that want a brush to feel truly clean, especially after tomato-heavy sauces. 5. Presto Stainless Steel Pressure Cooker. Presto's 6-quart stainless model is a classic. The tri-clad base, aluminum sandwiched between stainless, gives even heating for browning and steady pressure. And it's compatible with gas, electric, smooth top, and induction ranges, which is a big win if cooktops change. It cooks 3 to 10 times faster than conventional methods, and it genuinely feels like it. Soaked beans finish in a blink, and tougher cuts get tender without babysitting. Let me explain what sets it apart. The pressure regulator automatically maintains proper pressure, and the pot is fully inversible and dishwasher safe with the sealing ring and overpressure plug removed, so cleanup feels civilized even after messy cooks. It also ships with a rack and a clear instruction and recipe book, which actually helps dial in timing for staples like chicken thighs, potatoes, and pot roast. Here's where the critique lands. The regulator is simple and reliable, but it isn't a selectable PSI dial, so there's less granularity if someone wants to hover between, say, 10 and 15 PSI for texture tuning. And the jiggler-style sound isn't for everyone during long cooks. The steam release is safe, but not the smoothest feathered control for very foamy liquids, which means extra care with fill lines for split peas or barley. In daily use, the tri-clad base keeps scorching at bay as long as there's enough liquid, and searing results are even, which is not always true with single-layer bottom pots. 4. Magefesa Prisma Pressure Cooker. The Prisma brings European-style build quality with a sturdy stainless body and a base designed for even heating across modern burners, including induction, which helps with consistent pressure and less scorching during sears. Locking and sealing feel confident, with a lid that seats smoothly and a pressure indicator that's easy to read at a glance, reducing guesswork. On the stove, it comes to pressure briskly and holds it without drama, which is great for risottos, braises, and legumes. Even on a finicky electric coil, the base distributes heat cleanly enough to avoid hot spots. The safety systems are layered: mechanical lock, pressure indicator, and overpressure pathway, so there's peace of mind while focusing on timing and flavor. The cooking experience feels tidy. Steam releases predictably, the valve's easy to clean, and the stainless walls rinse down without staining after tomato sauces or curries. The handles have a confident grip, which matters when moving a full pot of broth or beans to the sink for a natural cool down. If using it for weekly meal prep, the capacity hits a sweet spot. Big enough for whole chickens and large stew batches, but still manageable for daily use without feeling bulky. It's also a good match for those who prefer a quieter operation compared to jiggle weight designs. Bottom line, a polished stainless performer with user-friendly safety and stable heat behavior, landing in a very comfortable buy it once, keep it for years zone for most home kitchens. 3. Universal Anti-Rust Ultra Pressure Cooker. This universal model leans into durability and fuss-free cooking, with a build that resists corrosion and hardware that locks up reliably, giving confidence for repetitive weekly use. It ramps to pressure fast, which is great for quick beans, bone broth sprints, or fast batch chicken. And it vents steam cleanly without spraying, as long as the fill levels are respected. Features that stand out in everyday use: the pressure indicator is clear, the release is predictable, and the base stays flat so the pot doesn't wander on the burner when stirring during sauté stages. It's friendly with induction-compatible variants in the line, and if picking the stainless version, the cleanup is a breeze post-tomato or curry. In practice, the safety stack is reassuring. Indicator, locking lid, and overpressure path all work together, and the gasket seats without fuss, which mean fewer "why won't it come to pressure" moments. Heat distribution is even enough to do honest browning before adding liquid, which cuts down on dish count. This is the kind of cooker that just becomes a weeknight tool. Soups in 20, chickpeas ready for hummus without peeling skins for hours, and rice dishes that hold their bite when timing is right. It's also good for batch sweet potatoes and shredded beef that doesn't dry out. If weighing it against fancier options, it doesn't give as many fine-grained pressure choices, but for most home use, the consistency and ease of cleaning carry the day. 2. IMUSA Stovetop Aluminum Pressure Cooker. If speed and lightweight are priorities, the IMUSA Aluminum Stovetop Cooker is a surprisingly nimble partner. Aluminum heats quickly and spreads heat fast, so it jumps to pressure quickly and stabilizes with small burner adjustments. The lid's locking system is straightforward, and the risk-free opening emphasis in the line's documentation is reassuring for pressure novices. Here's what matters for daily cooking. Fast heat up means beans, potatoes, and chicken soups are flat out quicker, and the lighter body makes it easy to lift and drain under the tap when doing a partial cool down. The handles are comfortable, and the valve hardware is easy to clean under warm, soapy water, with periodic checks keeping release paths clear. It's also a budget-friendly way to get into pressure cooking without giving up capacity, which helps for batch prep. Add a rack, and it does nice layered steaming for dumplings or dense veg. The cooker's speed makes it an efficient choice when gas or electricity costs are top of mind. Care notes, because they matter: aluminum will show wear faster than stainless and needs gentle cleaners to keep its surface tidy. Avoid bleach and chlorine products, and go easy on abrasives. Keep the valve area free of foamy foods that can clog passages. No oatmeal, applesauce, or pasta under pressure, and respect the fill rules for expanding foods. Day to day, it's a nimble, friendly cooker that rewards clean technique and gives serious time savings. If the goal is speed and simplicity, this hits the sweet spot. 1. T-fal Pressure Cooker. The top spot goes to T-fal's 22-quart stovetop pressure cooker, canner, because it nails control, capacity, and safety in a way that scales from weeknight soup to full-on canning days without feeling intimidating. It offers 3 selectable pressure settings, 5, 10, and 15 psi, so textures can be tuned for delicate veg, beans, and tough cuts with intention, and that flexibility shows up in consistent results. Let's talk safety and handling. It features a secure locking mechanism to ensure risk-free opening and closing, a steam release valve, and a gauge to monitor pressure with sturdy handles that feel safe even when the pot's loaded. The brand guidance emphasizes proper sealing, gradual cooling, and regular checks of the valve pathway, which contributes to confident, repeatable cooking. In real use, the capacity is a superpower. It can handle large batch stocks, big batch beans for meal prep, and pressure canning when preserving seasonal produce. And it includes 2 cooking racks for better stacking. Despite its size, it comes to pressure efficiently and cuts cooking times by up to 70%, which is noticeable when turning out multiple recipes back to back. Here's why it's number 1 for a best stovetop list. Selectable PSI settings give control that most home stovetop units don't, and that matters for things like keeping chickpeas intact at 10 PSI or hitting fast 15 PSI for stews that need to melt collagen. It's also backed by a clear, safety-forward user approach and broad documentation that makes maintenance and troubleshooting straightforward. Final thought. That's all for today, folks.